we want to talk about the homeless solutions. You can have 2 minutes to answer this, if you wish. Because it's a big problem, we all know. But the direct question is, what would you do as our representative on the county council to address the issue of people sleeping on downtown business streets and in business entranceways?
I could be wrong on this, but I think Councilman Drew Kanuha from Kona might have introduced some kind of legislation that would address that. I'm not really certain what that thing was, but it really is going to take some enforcement, some legislation, some enforcement. I don't have the answer for that, quite frankly. But in tackling the homelessness issue in general, and I know it's a big problem for the business owners here in the downtown area. One of the big problems that occurred about 6 years ago was when the state of Hawaii took away a lot of the funding for mental health care. And the problem that arose because of it is that not only could they treat people with mental incapacities, but they weren't able to diagnose them. And if you notice in downtown, I would have to believe a lot of the people that we see here now have some form of mental illness that hasn't been adequately addressed. So, I'm just kind of getting at the root of the problem. I think all these other things about people sleeping on the side, by the doors, these are all symptomatic of a bigger problem. I'm really sorry, Christine. This is something that we can speak hours and hours about. And it's very difficult to just talk about it in 2 minutes. I really do apologize to all of you.
Thank you. Good question. I actually know a lot about ending homelessness. My first job in Hawaii was homeless outreach. I worked for Office for Social Ministry for 3 years, and I put lots and lots of people into housing. That's how you end homelessness. That's it. And they're right. To some extent, there's a lot of other problems involved. Definitely, we have gutted the mental health system, we've gutted the medical system, we've gutted the transportation system, the judicial system. Every system that people count on has been whittled down to nothing through austerity measures. So, throwing money at it isn't necessarily going to solve it either. It's not going to fix it. What we need can be actually done with no money at all. What we can do is rezone some property to accommodate what Shane is talking about, micro-housing, or get containers. You can get a container from Matson for $4,000, and you now have a room, a safe place to be, a place to put your stuff that's not going to get wet or stolen, and a place to hang your hat, and a place to call your own and be proud and build from. We need a relief valve in the housing market. My husband was a realtor for 16 years. I know a lot about housing. I worked homeless outreach, so I know a lot about houselessness too. And that's how you end it. We can rezone some areas, and another problem we have in this county is only 5 unrelated people can live together. So that means you can't do any kind of sustainable community, you can't do a commune, anything like that. Once you hit the 6th person, you are now an illegal residence. So we could easily, with the stroke of a pen, change that law, and all of a sudden we can have real sustainable communities all over our island. She hasn't put the card up yet, so Drew's bill. Drew's bill was awful. I testified against that twice. I got other people to come out and testify against it also. Drew's bill was designed after Tulsi Gabbard's bill on Oahu that basically criminalized you for having stuff. What they would do is come around and tag your backpack or your cart or whatever it is, like it's an abandoned car. And if it's still there in 24 hours, they come pick it up. Now technically they're supposed to store it, but they're going to charge you for that storage too. So if you can't pay to get your backpack out, you lose it. If it's dirty, if it has food in it, if anything is wrong with it, they'll just throw it away. So it's not a matter of taking care of people's stuff for them that they don't know how to take care of. It's a matter of pushing people out of the downtown area. So if you succeed at that, what's going to happen? Where are they going to go? Into the neighborhoods? You don't want that either. If sleeping in a doorway is a problem, we already have a law against that. Tag them for that. Don't make up new laws. It's time that we approach homelessness with a compassionate stance and not just passing more laws against things that people do.
Right.